Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Hannibal. If you are new here, welcome. Today we are talking about Colourpop and Rawbeautykristi's new collaboration at Forest Sight eyeshadow palette. If you are curious and interested in learning how these eyeshadows perform, if they are good, and any other questions, stay tuned. Alright guys, so I'm just gonna get right into this palette because I'm really excited about the color palette that is in here. So this is what the palette looks like. I absolutely love it. This came out about 1 week ago. I did order it on the day that it dropped and I'm excited that it came within a week. You know, Colourpop's shipping is pretty fast considering I'm sure they get a lot of orders like every single day. So this is what the inside looks like. So I went ahead and did some swatches for you guys. Starting from left to right, we have Puffball, Chanterelle, Rainier, Old Growth, Evergreen, West Coast, Homegrown, Amanita, Fiddlehead, Emerald City, Pacific Northwest, and Let It Rain. These swatched so buttery smooth on my arm. I was very impressed with the formula just from touching it for the first time. So I was pretty excited to dig into this palette. It doesn't have a mirror, which is a little disappointing, but I watched Rawbeautykristi's video on the making of this whole complete collection, and she wanted the palette to be all recyclable material. So, you know, good for the environment. It's cruelty-free. I love Colourpop. So today I want to use a lot of the kind of mauve-y, purpley tones. I really do want to dig into the greens that are in this palette, but since I did a green look on the last makeup video that I did, I figured I should probably expand the colors a little bit. So I've already got my tape on and I've got my purple on as well. I've got a nice cozy sweater on today. I am just going to jump into this palette. So I totally loved the idea for this collection. I hadn't really heard much of Rawbeautykristi before this collaboration. I know she's been around for a couple years now, so it does kind of suck I haven't seen a lot of her stuff, but when I saw the tease picture come out for this eyeshadow palette, I knew I wanted to get it because the colors are right up my alley. I love the layout of how they created the palette itself. I love all the mattes that are in here. I love that it's mostly mattes because I don't like when they put too many shimmers in one palette and you don't have much color to work with, because I don't like doing complete shimmer looks. that's, you know, it's just my preference. So I'm super excited about this palette. And now that I've got my primer on, I'm gonna start out with the shade Old Growth. So like I was saying, I hadn't heard much of Rawbeautykristi before the announcement of this palette came out. Once the palette itself dropped, I watched her video that she had posted of the making of this palette and how she got to choose each name, each color, and they worked on the formulas. And so far this first shade is so buttery and smooth and it is blending on like a dream. I love that the whole idea of this palette is where she came from. She lives in Washington State, and that is why a lot of these shades are named after mushrooms and the different kinds of mushrooms, the different outdoorsy, foresty, like all that stuff I love. So I was so about this palette when I saw it was coming out. I am now gonna go in with a little bit of Rainier. Just gonna top that on top of that just to kind of deepen the color a little bit. Oh my gosh, this color is so pretty. That is amazing color payoff. I really like that. I'm going to take Rainier down onto my lid. Next, I am going in with Amanita. That is such a pretty plum color. I really, really like that. So one thing I really like about this palette so far is that the colors are blending really, really well with each other so far. The pigment payoff is really, really bright, which I also love. I wasn't sure if these two colors were going to mesh well at first, but now that I have them blended in together, they are so pretty. So I kind of want to dip into Let It Rain and see how it feels, you know? I'm just gonna do it mostly on the outside. I really like the tone of this dark shade. It's kind of black, but it's kind of like got a little extra shimmer to it. And I love the way that Kristi explained this shade as if like the shimmer that was in the black was kind of raining, and the shade is called Let It Rain, so it kind of makes sense, but I love that little extra sparkle. I'm not gonna lie, this color is kind of making me feel like a Disney villain. I don't know. Now I don't want to darken up the inner corners of my lid, so I'm just gonna leave that mainly on the outside. I'm gonna go back in with Rainier and put that a little bit more blended on the inner corners, just to kind of blend out the top as well. Wow, I really do like how those colors blend together. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeliner before this tape falls off my face. It is not wanting to stick very well today, so I'm gonna just finish off the eyes and do my lower lash line, and then I don't know if I want to add any like shimmer or glitter to the top of this, but I might. We'll see. And I went ahead and used my NYX Epic ink liner for that. And that's why we love tape. So I'm gonna just buff out the underneath of my eyes and use the shade Rainier and Amanita. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a little bit of Evergreen and kind of just dab that on the center of my lid and see what it does, just because I want to try out some of these colors, and it looks really pretty. So I do like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do my highlighter, and I'm using my Colourpop Super Shock highlighter in their shade You're a Trip. I'm gonna just put on my lashes, and that will pretty much be the rest of this eye look for today. And for lashes, I'm using my Luxe Lashes in the style Barcelona. I'll be right back, and then we'll do the lips. So we've got our lashes on. I went ahead and did my lower lash line with my CoverGirl Exhibitionist Uncensored. Now I'm going to do my lips and then my inner corners, and that will pretty much be the rest of the look for today. For my inner corner, I'm going to use West Coast just to get a really nice bright shine to them. I love that. So for my lips today, I'm going to be using Kylie Cosmetics. This is one of her matte lip kits, and this is the shade 20. I'm going to start out with my lip liner first and then go in with that liquid lipstick. And that is the finished look for today. I really like this. knowing how well just a couple of the matte formulas blended onto my eyelid, I'm really more excited about these. I do want to do a separate look where I try out these shades and like kind of like a golden look as well. I love that this is a 12 color palette, so you can do a little bit more than the last one that I got, which was the Baby Yoda palette that was only 9. Overall, I think this palette really performed very well. I do enjoy the shades. I love that they are very, very true to color from what you are seeing to how they actually apply to your face. I think that the color palette that she came up with is gorgeous. This is such a pretty palette for fall. You can do fall looks, you can do summer looks, you can do spring looks. Like, this is a whole year-round palette, and I love that that was created, you know, in November. So I have to say congratulations to Kristi, because this is a beautiful palette. Good job in coming up with this. If I ever had to make my own palette, I'm not sure what I would want my first one to be. But Colourpop, I know, always performs very, very well. The palettes that I've gotten from them in the past, like I said, I've only had a few of them, but they have all been 100% awesome. Beautiful. I loved them. I love how the shade of this plum just makes me feel like a Disney villain character. I'm so here for it. I gotta say, after just using this once, I'm pretty 10 out of 10 on this palette. I absolutely love, like I said, how they blended not just onto my eyelid, but how they blended together as a whole. I love that I was able to top different kind of richer purple tones on top of like a burnt orange shade, and it still looks really nice and pretty and blended and everything. I'm really excited for Fiddlehead and Chanterelle. Those are two of like my favorite colors to use, which are yellow and green. So I'll probably do a separate video where I test out a couple more of these, but I do always post my makeup looks on my social media as well. If you are not following me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, I always leave my social media links down in my description box. That's pretty much all I have to say about this palette though. I don't have anything bad to say about it at all. The only thing maybe would just be to add a mirror, but if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you have purchased this palette and tried it out yourself, let me know what your favorite shade is in the comment section down below, because I would love to hear what you guys think about it. I'm gonna be honest, I was having kind of a hard week at work, and just doing my makeup today made me feel so much better. I've been having a lot of problems with wearing my mask and it giving me breakouts and acne and stuff, and like that stuff can be really discouraging sometimes, but I try not to let it affect my everyday, because I know a lot of other people are also dealing with that problem right now. But I feel 10 times better than I did this morning. That is it for today's video, but I will be back very soon with more fun stuff for the holiday season. That's it for today. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.